Alright, what's going on guys? The Saiyan17 here, and before I start this video off, I want to say thank you because yesterday I officially hit 16,000 subscribers, which is really awesome. So once again, thank you so much to the new subscribers and to the old ones for sticking around. Anyways, let's get to the topic of this video. So I'm sure we're going to be getting some sort of Dragon Ball Super news, information or update sometime soon, probably near the end of this month in V-Jump, which I'll obviously be covering. But before any of that happens, I wanted to make a video talking about what I would like to see and what I don't want to see in the new series, because I haven't done that yet. Now, none of the things I'm going to talk about have been confirmed in any way, shape, or form. This is just going to be me as a fan talking about stuff off the top of my head that I would like to see in the new series. Some of these things you'll probably agree with, and some of them you won't. But that's just the way it is, so let's get started. First thing that I want is for the series to go past the ending of Dragon Ball Z. We know that this will pretty much pick up after Goku's battle with Buu, but we don't know when it will end. It could end in the time skip, or it could go past Goku flying off with Oob. I'm not going to be bummed out or anything if it doesn't go past the ending of Dragon Ball Z, but at this point I just really want GT to be erased. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I have to look at it, I have to stop looking at it from this fanboy perspective, first of all, and I gotta look at it through Toei's eyes. As a company, would you want GT to be completely erased? Obviously not. Even though GT is not canon, it's still part of the franchise, it's still part of the Dragon Ball brand. Whether we like it or not, they still make money off of GT. They've sold thousands of DVDs and season sets and action figures and toys, posters, t-shirts. GT characters have appeared in the video games for a very long time. Even to this day, Dragon Ball Heroes in Japan gets new GT content. We just had GT DLC for Dragon Ball Xenoverse. See what I mean? Even though GT's fan base doesn't come close to Dragon Ball Z, it's still a way for these companies to make extra money on the side by releasing GT merchandise or GT content. The reason we keep seeing it is because people keep buying it. Now, I'm gonna admit that the chances of Dragon Ball Super overlapping or overriding GT is very low. The smart thing for Toei would be to start and end Dragon Ball Super within the time skip, because that way we have nothing going into GT territory. But yeah, basically what I'm saying is that if it was up to me, I would wipe out GT completely. The second thing is that I want to see more of the newer generation of fighters, meaning Goten, Trunks, Pan, and Oob. I want to see them grow up with new character designs from Toriyama himself, because we barely got any of that until the end of Dragon Ball Z. Goten and Trunks are even missing in Fukatsu no F, so I really want to see them in action, and also just hanging out with the other characters. Pan needs like a complete redesign. I don't want her to look anything like she did in GT, just so I can forget about that. And most importantly, I want her to be a likable character. I mean, there were times in GT where I wanted to throw my TV remote at Pan's face because of how annoying she was. I know that some people actually want to see these characters get the main spotlight in the series, but not me. I think you can do a lot more with the characters still without making them the main stars of the show. So yeah, let's move on to the third thing. By the way, guys, this isn't in any order at all, it's just random stuff that I have in my mind, but I'm gonna go complete fanboy over this one. The third thing is more Piccolo. I love Piccolo. He is my second favorite character after Goku, and then my third one would probably be Beerus. The first Dragon Ball toy I ever got was Piccolo, like when I was 5, and at that time I didn't even know his name. I just knew he was from a show called Dragon Ball Z. But anyways, I would love to see Piccolo be one of the main characters. Like, if it was up to me, I would make the main characters Goku and Piccolo instead of Goku and Vegeta. Like, I hope they give Piccolo some sort of power boost that makes sense, just so he can be at least halfway to Goku and Vegeta's power. Obviously, you can't boost him up to the point where he's on par with the new Super Saiyan gods, but I think halfway is good enough. Also, when I was little, I always wanted to see Piccolo beat the crap out of Vegeta, because Vegeta was always this character who was always calling him out and stuff. Especially during the Android Saga when Piccolo merges with Kami, and Vegeta's completely shocked to see how strong he's become. Piccolo was the strongest Z fighter at the time, which was so damn cool. But anyways, yeah, I want to see a lot more of Piccolo, because I fucking love Piccolo. Number 4, there isn't really much to say about this one, but I really want to see more of Beerus, Whis, and also Jaco. Now, I'm sure that Beerus and Whis will stick around, obviously, because they've pretty much become fan favorites at this point, but I'm not quite sure what will happen to Jaco. It's definitely a possibility that Jaco could join the Z Fighters, but I think he'll be one of those characters that will, be coming and going throughout the series, which I don't really mind. I love the manga, and I've said this before, but Jaco, it really is a great addition to the cast, so I hope we get to see more of him. Alright, number 5, and this goes back to the whole Piccolo thing. I want to see a little bit more attention on the secondary characters, even though at this point in the story they can't really do much when it comes to fighting main villains like Golden Frieza and stuff, but it'll be cool if they can give them weaker henchmen and stuff to fight, like how they did in Fukatsu no F. I really like the direction they're taking with Fukatsu no F, where the secondary characters still have their moment to shine, so hopefully they'll continue doing that throughout the series. Also, you know how in Fukatsu no F Krillin is a police officer? Maybe in the series they can give him like short scenes or mini stories of him chasing down crooks and solving crimes and stuff. I think that would make for some funny scenes, so that would be kind of cool. Alright, number 6, and I'm gonna go a lot bigger with this because I would like to see some of the other universes. I'm not gonna ask for too much and say that we must go to every single universe, even just one of them is fine. Do you know how big a universe is? There is so much stuff to explore, new planets and different types of races, literally everywhere. There are so many different types of ways you can do this. For example, let's pretend that one of the arcs or sagas in this new anime takes place after the ending of Dragon Ball Z. Not during the time skip, but actually after the official ending of Dragon Ball Z. So basically, a new character appears in our Dragon Ball universe. And this new character is from another universe, but obviously we don't know which one. Now, how did this new character get here? I have no idea. Let's just say he's some type of messenger character and he's being sent here by someone. So he exclusively has the ability to jump between universes, right? I just made that shit up. Who cares? Now, he's not actually a very strong character. He just has that one ability. So he comes to the Z Fighters, who are pretty much gathered in one place, including Beerus and Whis and all that stuff, and he tells them all that they've been invited to this universal or multiversal tournament that is being held soon. So, you know, at first some of the Z Fighters turn down this offer and they say that they don't want to come, but you know, Goku being Goku, the guy who loves to challenge himself, ends up convincing all of them to come. So basically, this messenger character that I just made up, his job is to go from universe to universe to universe and pretty much gather the strongest warriors, good or bad, it doesn't even matter at this point. So let's skip forward to this tournament. Here we have a chance to meet so many different types of characters, or creatures, or monsters, or whatever type of thing is lurking in these universes. Some of them may become friends with the Z Fighters, and some of them could be completely evil. Imagine all the different character interactions you could do. Imagine the fight scenes, man. All these characters with different abilities and powers. Some extremely strong and some extremely weak, because these are completely different universes. This way we can even get some cool fight scenes from the secondary characters like Piccolo, Yamcha, Tien, Goten, Trunks, and Krillin. So basically, as we move forwards nearing the end of this tournament, maybe a new character could appear, and this new character could be our main villain for this arc. And maybe we could end up finding out that this entire tournament was fake. It was all a trick to gather the strongest warriors all in one place, just so he can kill them, basically to remove any threat. And the reason he chose to appear near the end of the tournament was because most of the fighters would be injured, they would be tired, and not anywhere close to full power, including the Z Fighters. So, you know, this new villain would basically give us a backstory as to why he's doing this and who he is, and we could basically close this arc with a huge battle. Now, the reason I say arc is because obviously you wouldn't want the entire series to just be this tournament thing, because that would be a little too much. But yeah, this is just something I would like to see. This was just random bullshit I just made up, so obviously some of it makes no sense, but you get the point. You get what I'm trying to say. It just sounds pretty cool to me. It's bringing back like fucking classic Dragon Ball and Yu Yu Hakusho memories from the tournaments and stuff. It's just epic. Now, let me get to one thing I do not want to see. If it happens, it happens. You know, it's not something that will kill the show for me or anything, but it's not necessary at this point. And I am talking about transformations. Transformations for Goku and Vegeta. We don't need any more of them for both these guys. I know people want to see Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta and all that stuff, but I don't. Let me explain why. I have always gotten the sense that Toriyama wanted to make the Saiyans have just two transformations. The Great Ape and then Super Saiyan. And the reason I say that is because the original Super Saiyan form actually had a backstory or a legend behind it. This was something that even Frieza feared, and it was a huge thing during the Frieza arc, but obviously as the story went on, Toriyama decided to create Super Saiyan 2 and Super Saiyan 3, which were really cool, don't get me wrong, but Super Saiyan 1 always meant more. And I think that even Toriyama understands this, because if you remember last year, I made a video called SSJ2 and SSJ3 No More, which was basically me talking about an interview in which Toriyama said that SSJ2 and SSJ3 were nothing more than powered up variations of Super Saiyan and that Goku would probably never use them again. And as you can see, even with the release of Fukatsu no F, Toriyama has stayed true to his words because there is no Super Saiyan 2 or Super Saiyan 3 to be seen anywhere. However, we do have a new transformation called Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, which surpasses the previous God form that we saw in Battle of Gods. The reason I really like this transformation is because it feels new with the blue color, but it's also sort of like a reboot. Instead of getting even more crazy with the hair and the muscles like Super Saiyan 3, it actually takes it back to Super Saiyan 1. If you think about it, we've basically just went a full circle from Super Saiyan 1 to Super Saiyan 2 to Super Saiyan 3 to Super Saiyan God, and now we're back at Super Saiyan 1. But this time, Super Saiyan 1 is being powered by the godly ki that both Goku and Vegeta have acquired and also mastered. So going back to what Toriyama said earlier, this makes perfect sense now because Goku and Vegeta have pretty much mastered this form. So yeah, I think this is the perfect place to end the transformations just for these two characters because I personally believe that it was meant for Goku and Vegeta to stay at the original Super Saiyan form. It's just classic. So if they decide to make more transformations, I hope it's for other characters because they need them more than these two do. That's pretty much all I have to talk about, guys. One last thing I want is for the series to be successful. That's it. And do I think it will be? Absolutely 100%. Let's look at it this way. If something like Dragon Ball Kai, which is pretty much Dragon Ball Z rehashed, if that can be successful and stay on air, sell merchandise and all that stuff, even after getting mixed reviews from fans, then what do you think will happen when an entirely new Dragon Ball series comes out? I don't think this can ever fail. I really don't. Now, people can say that this new series will be competing with One Piece and Attack on Titan and Naruto or whatever else is big these days. I don't follow it, so I don't know. But at the end of the day, I don't believe it's competing with them. Dragon Ball Z has already broken records and made its mark in the history books a long time ago. And nothing is going to change that. You can't go back in time and change that. You can only go forward. The only thing Dragon Ball is competing with is itself. Is this thing going to be better than its previous series called GT? Yes. Is this going to be more successful than GT? Hopefully yes. That's all that matters. Of course, Dragon Ball isn't as big as it was back in the day in its prime. I mean, we're dealing with an entirely new generation here, but this is a legendary franchise. And if there's one thing I've learned is that legends never die. That's all I gotta say. I know this video was long, but I thought I had to make it up to you guys since I was missing for so long, and some people enjoy longer videos, you know, just listening to me talk about Dragon Ball. So there you have it, guys. I am definitely excited to hear more news about this series, like I said before. We know nothing about it yet. We're being kept in the dark for now, but hopefully next week we'll get something good and I'll be back to cover it. But anyways, thanks for watching and I will see you guys later. Peace.